Okay, for this lab, you're going to manipulate this simulation. This top slider, you can change the acceleration value, and then this other slider, you can change the velocity value. For this example, we're going to have an acceleration of 0, and we're going to have a velocity of 2. Now, you can hit play, stop, reset, but once everything's set, if you bring the if you hit play and then hit stop and then bring the slider for time back to 0, if you just click right on time, it'll advance it by the second increments that it's set at. So I want to measure, in this example, I want to measure the time it takes to get to 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, and so on. That's the data that I'm collecting. So let me bring it back to 0, and then I show you here. Now it arrived at 1 second at at 1 meter at 0.5 seconds. I click that and keep clicking it, and then I see that the front of the car gets to 2 meters at 1 second. And then if I keep advancing this, we'll see that it gets to 3 seconds. It gets to 3 meters at 1.5 seconds. Gets to 5 meters at 2.5 seconds. And then finally, it gets to 6 meters at 3 seconds. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, after you've collected the data, what you need to do for each task. So when you get to the task, when you get to the spreadsheet, if you look down at the bottom, the first tab is the example tab. So I'm going to go through that example. When you go to the tasks 1 through 5 tab, you'll see that each task kind of looks like this. It gives you what you need to set the acceleration at, what you need to set the velocity initial at, and then the yellow cells are the cells that you need to collect data for. So for the first task, you're going to be collecting time data, but for tasks 2 through 5, you're going to be collecting the distance data. So the yellow cells are what you need to collect data for. All right. Now, going back to the example, once you fill in information in the yellow cell, it'll change color. It'll go to white. So for the first distance, 0 position, that's 0 time. Okay, and then at 1 second, at 1 meter, it was 0.5 seconds it took to get there, and at 2 meters, it took 1 second, then 1.5, then 2, then 2.5, and then it took 3 seconds to get to 6 meters. Okay, once all of that information is in there, all that data is in there, you're going to highlight the time and distance data. Make sure you include the headings for T and D, and then you're going to insert a chart. Make sure it is a scatter chart, and then when you go to customize it, go to series, scroll down, add the trend line, linear, and then for label, use the equation, and the equation will show up right there. You can close this out. All right, and then move the chart so it's right next to your data table. Okay. From here, looking at the equation, I might ask you some questions, some analysis questions that you need to answer in regard to that. And that's it.